Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about I've been doing some checking here, and if you have the Retevis RT97S repeater, remember the S is the one that has the 9-pin data connector on it, you may not need an interface box. You may only need a COM port to USB adapter, and you'll have to make a cable. And what I mean is, as you can see here, I have a DB9 to USB. This costs $9 on eBay. I think it's about $9. I'll post a link down below. It came with this little extension cable, which was nice because I got the computer plugged in. It's plugged into the computer over off screen. And what I did was, you're probably wondering, how do I get my wires on there? I bought a connector that I can solder the wires on and plug it into my DB9 adapter there. That's how I did that. And then I obviously soldered the wires on, and I found what wires were what, and I marked them. As you can see here, we got ground and DSR and CTS. Okay, now what you're going to do, and you'll have to make a cable, and let me explain why. If you recall, on the sheet that I posted in other videos on the DB9 connector on the Retevis, which is right here, you got mic, you got speaker, and then you got obviously the mic rounds. So what you're going to do is you're going to need the headphone jacks, because what you're going to do is you're going to solder, and let me show you here. I'm kind of talking about this is only for the mic and speaker. So for an example, pin 2 is mic in, and then the ground for that is pin 6. So you'd find on the Retevis, those pins and those wires coming off, you would buy yourself one of these. This is the stereo 3.5 millimeter stereo plug, and what you're going to do is you're going to solder. You're going to need 2 of those plugs. You're going to solder the wires on, okay, and you're going to plug them into the computer microphone in, and the other one will go to the speaker out, just like we did with the other hooking up Zello. We're going to do it the same way. And if your computer only has one headphone jack, you'll need that adapter, like I've said in other videos, because we got to separate the speaker and the microphone. If your computer has separate jacks, then you don't need it, and then you'll just plug this in. You'll have 2 of these now, one for microphone, one for speaker. Okay, that's going to take care of our sound that's coming off the repeater. Now you're probably wondering, well, how am I going to activate this? Well, that is where this comes into play. The CTS, the DSR, and then we got ground. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean here. We need to activate on the Retevis. If you go back to that diagram again, pin 9 on the Retevis right here is PTT, active low. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to find, and you can pick. That's what's nice about the Zello. You can pick what you want to do. What I mean is, you go to Tools, you go to Options, you go to Radio. We're not using Vox. That's what's nice about this. We're going to use the COM port. COM port 3 is what mine little adapter is on, and I can set RTS. I can set it either low or high. So if it's low, let me go ahead and turn my meter on here. Of course, this stupid meter's got auto shut off. So I wanted to show you guys this. Okay, now if I do a high and I hit apply, see on the meter how it goes to 0? So you want to set this to what it takes to activate it. If it's a low, then you set it to low. What I mean by that is if I go to low and I hit apply, which you can't see that off screen, I apologize, it's going to put a high on the line, but when it detects a low, it's going to activate and work. Let me show you. Okay, watch that right there. Watch this meter. I'm going to get my phone here. Okay. Now there's a couple things I want you to watch. I want you to watch the meter here, and I want you to watch right here, the transmit right here. Okay. So I can do without blocking the meter. So it went to low, and now we are activating. Actually, it's playing over my monitor. You probably can't hear that. But now we're activated. You see how it says mode, COM, receive 4, query 0, status active, receiving yes. Now when I let go of this, watch the meter and watch the transmit over here. Goes back to high. It's a high state and standby, and it's waiting. So you can adjust this. What my point is, if you need a low to activate it, you can set it to low. If you need a high to activate it, you can set it to high. So that's what's cool about the gateway. There's no more Vox, there's no more mic settings and all that goofy stuff. Now the receive, you can use Vox if you want. Go to here, receive radio PC. I got it set for COM 3 because that's my USB right here. I'm going to use the DSR line. I'm going to make it high, meaning I need high is 5 volts. And the squelch, if you look on the data sheet on, let's go back to here. Let's go to the data sheet. If you go to the data sheet, it tells you. Now, of course, if you get the actual RT97, it tells you this is squelch. High makes it active, else low. So if it's in a low state until I put 5 volts on it. Then it's not high state. Now if you watch this right here, this jumper wire right here I got is 5 volts. Now watch when I touch it. This is like the squelch pin on the radio. If it's 5 volts when it's active high, then when I touch this, you'll see on the Zello, you'll see it right here start to stay in waiting right now. You'll say active. See? Active. Boom. So I'm hoping this is making sense. It's kind of hard to explain this. So I'm almost 90% sure you don't need a interface box for the RT97S. I think you can just use a COM port adapter. And once you hook up the audio, like I said before, once you hook up the audio for your sound, you plug that into your computer, the mic and speaker, then it's just a matter of picking what pin you want to use on this COM port to activate the PTT. And if you look here again, I'll show you one more time. If you go to Options, Radio, Transmit, I'm using the RTS line, and it needs a low to make it active. To turn it on, I need a low, which is ground, which is 0. So, and I could change that if I want, but I don't want to because I want to keep it. Obviously, I don't want to put it on that one because that's what I'm using for the receive. So I can pick. Same with here, DSR for the receive. High, like I showed you, I need 5 volts to activate it. Now, if you're saying, well, I can't do that. Well, you can always use relays too, but that's a whole other video. If you can't get a active low or high on your radio, or your radio does not do an active low and high, you could use a relay, but that's a whole nother, like I said. But for the most part, you can tell it what to do and what pin. And if you're wondering, let's close this out. If you're wondering, okay, that's great, but what pins, what do I do with my pointer here? Well, if you're wondering what pins are this COM port right here, okay? Because you got to take the pins from the Retevis and match it to this. Well, it's easy. We got a file. I got a file here. Right here. So, right here. So, for an example, RTS, which stands for request to send, is pin 7 on this connector. So I would hook, if I want to use that, I would hook pin 7 to, on the Retevis RT97, I would hook pin 7 to pin 9. Okay? Then for the receive, I was using the DSR, which is data set ready, which is pin 6 on this connector. So pin 6 would go to, on the Retevis RT97, pin 6 would go to the busy active low, which means squelch. And if you're wondering how do I know that squelch, because I did some research and I found, okay, let's go back to this. Remember this diagram here I found? It shows you how to hook it up to another adapter, okay? The URIB. Well, I found another diagram that tells you how to hook up that URDB to a Kenwood radio. So what I did is, okay, number 8 is that COR detect. In this case, they want you to jumper at 7 and 8, but that don't matter. We want to know what it's on the radio. Number 13. Number 13, squelch. That's how I know the busy is squelch. Or COR detect is squelch. Okay? So I hope this all makes sense. Like I said, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. But I don't think you need an interface box for the Retevis RT97S. You're gonna, like I said, you're gonna need the COM port to USB. I think it was like $8 or something. You're going to have to make your own cable because remember, I'm going to say this again, you're going to need to solder these on for the audio part. These wires here that you see today, right here, these wires right here are for the transmit and receive part of the circuitry to make it turn on. So that's what these wires are here for. They have nothing to do with the sound. That's audio. Sound is audio. So you got to have these jacks and you plug them into your computer, and that should take care of it for audio. Now, I know you're wondering, I am in the process of trying to modify my Retevis RT97. I'm trying to convert it to an RT97S, and it's a nightmare. To be honest, it's very, very, very small pins on that chip. I got 2 wires soldered on now. So I got to do a couple more yet, and then I'm going to test this theory with mine, with the jacks and all that, like I just talked about. I'm going to do it to mine if I can get the wires on this. They're very, very small. So I will be testing this, but this is how I'm going to do it. So I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below, and please subscribe, and thank you, and have a good day.